What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Edgar. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get the things that you want out of life using something called the strategy of the crown. And with that, let's jump right into it. We all have things we want in life. We have hopes, dreams, aspirations, things that we want to achieve. We want a nice house, a badass car, a beautiful family, and money. Money to afford all of those things, and maybe even some left over to bless others with. But getting these things isn't always easy. It takes tons of hard work, late nights, early mornings, doing whatever needs to be done. It can require deep knowledge of a subject, which means immersing yourself in research and studying. And it can even take specialized skills, which you can only obtain by doing the damn thing. But this isn't always the case. Sometimes the thing that we want is easy to obtain. We just need to ask for it. But asking can be difficult. We could realistically be rejected, and if we ask with intimidation or uncertainty in our voice, and the risk of rejection is only amplified. Now, looking for you, that thing that you want, regardless of how difficult it is achievable. And there is one thing you can do today to start increasing your chances of hitting those milestones and finally get what you want out of life. And that, my friends, is where the strategy of the crown comes in. This strategy is actually something that comes from the book, The 48 Laws of Power, and it's actually Law 34 to be exact. And it's actually very simple. It basically works like this. You need to carry yourself and behave as if that thing that you want is already yours. If you believe that you're destined for greatness, other people will believe it too, and it'll make it easier to get anything that you want. Or to simplify it, you're a king. Kings get what they ask for. But the key is to believe yourself, and acting like if you have a crown on, like if you're a king, can sometimes give you that little boost you need to actually get there. Let me tell you the story of Christopher Columbus, which comes from the book as well, to explain the strategy of the crown a little better. So according to the book, Christopher Columbus grew up poor, but he always made up these stories of coming from aristocracy. He had a lineage of counts and legendary generals. And to further cement the story, he always carried himself in noble circles. He acted like them, he talked like them. And eventually this led to him actually marrying into a noble family. Columbus always felt that he was destined for great things, so whenever he wanted something, he asked for it with conviction. And one day he was able to get this opportunity when he somehow managed to get a meeting with the King of Portugal. During this meeting, Columbus asked for money to sail west so he could look for a quicker route to Asia, even though he had literally no sailing experience. Any discoveries he made along the way would be made in the king's name, and in exchange, he wanted to be viceroy of the lands, he wanted 10% profit from the lands, and he wanted the title Grand Admiral of the Sea. Yeah, that's no joke. He wanted to be made Grand Admiral of the Sea. Anyway, you won't be surprised to hear that the king denied his request, but what's interesting is that he took him seriously. He didn't laugh at Columbus, he didn't kick him out, he just politely declined and left the door open for business in the future. And Columbus noticed this. Even though he knew he made a crazy offer, it was treated as legitimate, and simply the fact that he asked raised his social status. The fact that he asked alone ended up helping him grow his reputation and his connections, and eventually he moved to Spain, where he was indeed granted the money to sail west, and that's when he discovered America. And none of this would have ever happened if Columbus didn't really believe in himself and think that he was destined for greatness and ask for the things that he wanted. That's the power of the strategy of the crown. So, how can you adopt it for yourself? Well, here are 3 quick techniques you can use to maximize the effectiveness of this strategy. Number 1, carry yourself with confidence. When you walk with your shoulders straight and your head held high. Body posture makes a huge difference in how people perceive us, so always try to carry yourself in a confident manner. Also, when you speak with conviction, ask for things that you want. Don't be afraid to be rejected, because the worst that can happen is someone says no. Also, be willing to admit when you're wrong or when you just don't know something. There's nothing out there that screams lack of confidence like not being able to admit when you're wrong or when you don't know something, or just admitting defeat. This act alone shows that you're confident in who you are, and the fact that being wrong or losing sometimes doesn't diminish who you are as a person, doesn't make you any less of a man. So be confident. Okay, number 2, ask for what you want. Look, the old saying is true. You don't get what you don't ask for. How can you get something that people don't know that you want? Let me give you an example of this that I dealt with recently. So a few months ago, I read the book $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan, and in the book there's something called the coffee challenge, which essentially all you have to do is go to a coffee shop and ask for a 10% discount. Now that sounds easy enough, right? But I struggled with this, and from the research I did, a lot of other people did too. And showing up anywhere and asking for a discount, especially in your hometown, can be a little off-putting because you don't want to come across as someone that's entitled, right? But at the same time, the point of the test is to just ask for something, because you didn't have to get the 10% discount. That wasn't part of the challenge. It was just simply to ask. So I mustered up the courage and I did it. And this is what happened. Hey, how's it going? Good. Can I do a 24-ounce iced chai, please? No, that'll be all. All right. Hey, you think it's at all possible to get 10% off on that? Well, I got the discount. That's funny, because if I had never asked, I never would have gotten the discount. So you don't get what you don't ask for. Lesson learned. So again, to summarize, you never know what you can get just by simply asking for it. All right, number 3, don't take yourself too seriously. When Christopher Columbus met with the King of Portugal, he asked to be made Grand Admiral of the Sea. I mean, he had to know that request was just kind of wild. But he was willing to ask for something kind of silly to make his other requests seem not as silly. And in fact, the book kind of alludes to the fact that all of his title requests were granted, so he may be Columbus, Grand Admiral of the Sea, who knows? Again, you don't get what you don't ask for. But the point here is, don't be afraid to have a little fun at your own expense, you know? Be naive at times, be a little foolish. In fact, acting like a fool is another law from the 48 Laws of Power, but we'll get to that at a different day. I digress, but to recap, don't take yourself too seriously. Okay, one final thing. As you know, this whole time we've been talking about the strategy of the crown, but what I haven't talked about is why it's called that. Well, as the 48 Laws of Power puts it, if we believe we are destined for great things, our belief will radiate outward, just as a crown creates an aura around a king. This outward radiance will infect the people around us, who will think we must have reasons to feel so confident. People who wear crowns seem to feel no inner sense of the limits to what they can do or what they can accomplish. This too radiates outwards. Limits and boundaries disappear. Maybe it's a sense of entitlement. Maybe it's the result of royal children being spoiled and showered with anything they ask for. But in our world, the people who wear crowns know, they don't think they know, that anything they ask for, they will get.
Magician. I don't think, baby, I don't think. What is that? That's ghetto. I don't think. I know.
Anything they want to accomplish, they will accomplish. And you need to adopt this belief too. In essence, you need to carry yourself in a way that aligns with your visions and goals. But in practice, what you need to do is embody the traits befitting of a crown so that you can become both worthy and deserving of achieving the things you want to achieve. And always remember, it is up to you to set your own price. Ask for less, and that is just what you will get. Ask for more, however, and you send a signal that you are worth the king's ransom. Even those who turn you down respect you for your confidence, and that respect will eventually pay off in ways you cannot imagine. But okay, y'all, that's all I had for you in this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to check out this one where I talk about the paradox of self-awareness. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.